Welcome back, everybody. It's that time. Monster of the Week 4. We're going to see who our champion is this time. Now, no spoilers at the beginning. Unlike the last video, I got my hand slapped by some of the comments because I spoiled it too early. So we're going to jump around a little bit between different games, and I'll let you know at the end who actually took it down. But before we actually jump into the games, I, of course, have to let everybody know that I am part of the Content Affiliate Program. That means that the Phobies team does, in fact, give me coffee for producing Phobies content. Now, with that out of the way, let's take a look at the list of players that are competing in Monster of the Week 4. So we have some returning names from previous events, but you can see the list of players over there. And there are some big names in that list. You may or may not recognize them from thereabouts the top of the ladder. Now, we're doing this live on my Twitch stream. The link for that and my Discord, of course, down by the like and subscribe button in the description of this video. Let me know who you think is going to take it down before you finish watching this video, everybody out there in YouTube land, but I'm leaving it up to Twitch chat to decide which games we're going to look at each round. So we're going to take a look at 3 games, and then we're going to look at them right now. Monster of the Week 4. We have Endless Pain in the orange trunks, and we got Master Dark in the blue trunks. We're here on This Might Sting a Little, just pausing at the beginning of the game so we can get everybody up to speed on what the Monster of the Week rules are. Here we go. So there is no map ban system, which is contrary to Fright Night. However, also contrary to Fright Night, we do have a phobie ban, but it's not a phobie ban system. Players aren't banning it out of their opponent's collections. Instead, it is a blanket set of bans. There are certain phobies you just cannot use, which is, of course, going to influence player strategies, and we're anxious to see how that plays out through the games. Now, these rounds are also untimed, but they are arena, and of course, everything is set to level 1. Now, if you're interested in learning more about Phobies tournaments, maybe playing in some and earning some coffee prizes, hit up the Random Thoughts Discord. You'll get all the information about that before everybody else does. But let's get into the game and see how these players actually played the game out. All right, let's see. So, Endless Pain, as mentioned, wearing the orange colors, coming out swinging with a droney. So this is not an uncommon opener at this stage, I don't think. I don't know Endless Pain's stress level, but it's not uncommon for people to go with droney. What is uncommon is not going to the center, because you can just, fly right there to the center and then back off here. And I would have liked to have seen that, because I think what Endless Pain wanted to do was swing the droney down here. And it's not going to happen now, because that Cassowary's going to eat it. Cassowary's going to num the droney. And that's not what's going to happen. Now, this is also something that I've been pointing out in my own ladder matches on stream, and a bunch of other people commented they've seen it as well. The creep as player 1 in order to offset the murder wing from player 2 on this map. It's something to take note of, and we're going to have to see some adjustments from player 2, not necessarily just Master Dark, but other player 2 players to try and address this. Now, Clopster's coming out. Master Dark, I believe, is a Clopster fan in general. A Clopster stan, if you will. We'll have to see. The Murder Wing here, in conjunction with the Clopster, probably takes down this cap. We're seeing a 3-to-1 panic point advantage. Of course, the Murder Wing's going to have to vacate unless it wants to get spit on by the creep. And that makes things weird. Getting spit on by the creep feels like... Do you think the devs had that in mind when they designed the ability? For people to say that, because that feels like it fits, right? Evo 2.0, kind of a staple on this map, definitely makes sense here. Not a whole lot to boop, but at the same time, it's representing AoE damage. Oddly enough, hilariously enough, Evo 2.0 cannot one-shot droney. Same level, remember, level 1s. Level 1s. A way to tweak the timer in frenemies would be interesting to have. Absolutely, I'd pushed for chess timers, specifically. I think it would work spectacular for Phobies. Evo 2.0 is something I want to master, but it lacks levels. I think it's fine, even if it's under-leveled. For the most part, it's generally fairly tanky. It additionally, the boop doesn't, like Abyss tiles don't care what your level is. I get the aversion to putting things out that are low levels, but yeah, the fact of the matter is if you have low levels, yeah, it's going to come back to bite you sometimes. Now, the Canine edition here is interesting. DT thinks Evo 2.0 is bad now, I think. I'd have to hear that from DT themselves. I could certainly understand a fluctuating opinion. I don't think I'd go so far as to say it's bad. I don't know if I'd go so far as to say it's bad. Overrated, I could agree with. Okay, timeout. There's several things I want to comment on here, but as far as 2.0 goes, I can agree with overrated. I don't think I can agree with bad. So, the things, and there's more comments in chat, but we'll pick those up as we keep going. The K9 I had assumed was because Master Dark wanted a specific 8 key to come out. And it's, hey, I want something on the board. I guess I want to avoid poison. It's kind of tanky, so if it gets yoinked, my opponent's going to have to put in a lot of effort to kill it, and it's only a 2 key, so they're not going to waste time. But then the follow-up is Woolly Bully. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Phobies to 4. This is going to be interesting. I'm not really sure exactly where this is going yet, other than, of course, we get the boop on the enemy stim. Super threatening. Mummy. Okay, timeout. Orange is going in. You do get the damage boost here, but this requires an additional Phobie to come in to clear this out. This is dead. What else is going to die from our orange player? Because this is a pretty aggressive push, and I get the sense that Master Dark can punish this, maybe not incredibly safely, but pretty safely. So remember what was lost. It was a K9 right now. That's a dead creep. We're now even on keys. Now orange is minus 3 keys. And we get the follow-up spider. A fairly efficient trade for our blue player. The biggest problem with the level thing that I've encountered is that sometimes my Murder Wing randomly just doesn't one-shot the enemy jar because of a level difference. Yep. That's why I think the addition of the unofficial tournament mode of level 1 and frenemies is incredible. All right, so our orange player following up with a second yoink, maintaining a yoink advantage at a 2-1, and of course, setting up for a potential hard push. This is also kind of cute because it's not uncommon to say somebody pushes and then they overextend and you get a yoink because you pull them off your stem. But the mummy would fill in bodies to body block. That would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. I was saying it's not good recently, then ironically I started using it more often. That's always the way. Honestly, that happens a lot. All right, so we get the Clinico to clear the poison here. Woolly Bully still hasn't done its screaming thing at anyone just yet. We'll see. We'll see. The level 1 equalizer sounds amazing. I've had this discussion with Karst. It isn't quite they're two completely different games, but there's a solid argument that they are different games. I do like this play from our orange player coming back to this. You get the Gravedigger break into the yoink, into the shock. I don't think this is enough damage, though. This is a great play if it worked. Yeah. If you can't get the kills here, you just lost the game. You have effectively just lost the game. So we're getting a little spread damage here because we're going to be able to get a variety of connections. The power down on the Jin Sting, could you not have just killed it? Couldn't you have just walked the Woolly Bully, slapped this to kill it, and then Murder Wing... Where was Murder Wing to start? Could Murder Wing have ended up on the lava here to hit this? Probably not. I'm assuming not, because otherwise he would have done that, but I kind of already mentally lost the idea of where they were. Hevo goes down quite obviously. Little bees action, but with 35 damage spread, literally 0 damage on this cassowary. That feels bad, man. Mummy does create a mini-me, so there is that. But mini-me eats it before anything can actually happen. Pressure onto the heart here. You can actually take a fairly significant panic point advantage here. The droney comes out to do exactly that. Oh my god. Somebody call an ambulance. The Todd has entered the chat. Shout out to my Scrubs fans. I'm gonna stab your heart 5? It's not really a stab. I'm gonna bludgeon your heart 5? Stealing the panic point back with the mini-me, but honestly, this is now in Heart Rush territory, quite obviously. There's realistically 0 way to stop the high 5, even if this wasn't sufficient. High 5, more like goodbye 5. More like taunting from the sidelines 5. GG. Well played, both players, but congratulations, Master Dark, on the round 1 win. Yeah, the high 5 was just completely unnecessary, apparently. Yeah, that dive was clearly ill-advised. I like the idea. It was cool if you could snipe the Hevo, but clear, like, you're just dead going in there. I think what they needed to do was, like, bait that Hevo staying there or something, or they needed to do something else. To be honest, once that Hevo went in and was safe where it was, the game might have been over right then. Because, like, what else are you going to do? You can't commit onto it because you obviously don't have enough damage, and if you don't do something, it's going to kill you. It was just very much a damned if you do, damned if you don't scenario, I think. You know what, chat? We're going to send YouTube, chat, commenters, whatever, viewers, dear viewers, we're going to stick with our winner, Master Dark. Actually, on Being of Evil's map, I'm pretty sure this is Being of Evil's map, correct me if I'm wrong, Rise to Stardom. One of the new maps, it finally came back around into the rotation. Master Dark in the blue trunks, A-markined, pointing the wrong way, still pointing the wrong way, in the orange trunks. It's interesting that this map was chosen. Obviously, it hasn't been around that long, and it's such a unique map. It's your favorite big map. Yes, created by Being of Evil. Shout out to chat, helping me out. A Game of Throws. Oh, you're talking about your game. Okay. Different game. So this is an interesting opener. Master Dark, of course, a disciple in the Church of Ice Cream. Notably, we're getting a lot of mechs. Obviously, the new tiles, the disease tiles and the poison tiles favor mechs for obvious reasons, although you can kind of ignore it to a degree. The thing is that I wonder what kind of tiles they could make that would, like, I guess they can make electrical tiles, right? Electrical tiles that deal damage to mechs when they stand on them. But that, and this is a common karst complaint. I know we're digressing from the game, but like a common karst complaint. Ooh, a repeller. Woo. All right. It's a common karst complaint that electrical is so narrow. Hence, and it's kind of exemplified in the idea of an electrical tile where is this really worth it? Seeing the Clopster show up again. Not going to burrow here. We do get an Electricat. Repeller's an A-marking signature at this point. I haven't seen it in too many A-marking games that I can recall. Repeller is slowly moving up my charts, but I still don't... I don't know. I figured this was going to happen. It's too easy to pick off the cat and then do this. Like, I'm curious to see if the Repeller here is significantly better than Innocuous. You saw it so many times at Fright Night. The one Fright Night, I think, but not every Fright Night. And A-Markin plays in pretty much all of them. All right, so we get the aggressive push onto the bow here. I don't know if I love this. Really? Okay, I see what's happening. Get the takedown on the bow. I was like, wait a minute, is this bow really gonna live? All right, this play feels much better. However, remember, a mark in 8 keys, snowball, jar, Hydra. There's several things that could happen here. We get a Raucous, which is a thing that can happen. Yeah, it annoyed me a lot. If only it would be 700 HP, I would win. But yeah, if it was Defrost doing damage, I probably won too. A-Markin plays a lot. I mean, I believe you guys when you say that. That A-Markin runs a Repeller a lot. I just haven't... I must not have seen it. We obviously can't spectate every single game. There's a lot of games. Wouldn't an electrical tile need to be some damage to everything and increased damage to mechanical, similar to how the Phobies damage works? You could. You could also just have it strictly do the electrical portion of the damage. A-Mark and Signature are Repeller and Mount Crushmore. Is it really fair to say Mount Crushmore is anyone's signature when it gets used by pretty much everybody? I feel like Repeller is a way more notable signature phobie because it is much more rare. Crushmore is in the so generally useful category that it is difficult to call it someone's signature. In my opinion, anyway. I could see an argument otherwise. Also, notably, we get a Maggie, because reasons. We did get the freeze here coming down onto Hevo. Tooth Fairy. Notably not taking the center, but instead sniping the Maggie. I didn't love the Maggie to begin with. The signature is using them together. Oh, okay. That's a little different. Oh my god. The paper-thin Repeller actually tanks... Oh my god. Why does Raucous suck so bad? Why does Raucous suck so bad? I don't get it. I honestly thought Repeller had 700 HP. You know, I would say, why didn't you just click on the phobie? But I do that all the time. I do that all the time. So, clearly we're going to get a dead Ice Cream. It traded for the Hevo, but what else is going to go down? Probably a lot. I'm making a joke. It's entertainment value to shriek that something's terrible. Where did Klopster even come from? Isn't that what they all say? Isn't that what they all say? Klopster, out of nowhere, going in the pot. The lobster's in the pot. With a side of ice cream. So, after the carnage, it's a lot of dead phobies. Game not let me click. 4, 8, 10, 12, 14. 5, 8, 10. Note to self, use Klopster next time I'm on this map. It is notable that Klopster can get these crosses and, like, just fly around the map. No one capped the mid-panic point? No. No one cares about panic points. We care about carnage. No one cares about panic points. It's violence. And the fact I had to send Klopster to kill Hevo because A-Markin would just Hevo 3.0 it. I mean, that's fair. Hevo 3.0 can set up some things on this map. It can set up some things. Everyone's favorite twerking monster here. We get several things that are going to cause a grimace, we'll say, for Master Dark. Remember when everybody was saying, don't worry, Raucous is good. This one is not going to go in Raucous' highlight reel, but you know it is going to have a highlight reel. It's blue. Shout out to all the blue fans. I'm not going to lie, this feels like Master Dark at this point accepting that the game is over. I mean, are you saving this spider? Probably not. But, like, I don't know. You have 0 keys to 0 keys. A Mark and Seam is just way better at this stage. I hate Evo 3.0 for a reason. I know it's easier to beat than boss, but it just annoys me. I mean, it's a very powerful phobie. I don't think anyone's going to say Evo 3.0 is bad. By any stretch. It's just incredibly powerful. And on this map, I think it is also elevated in its power level because things get clustered. It's very difficult to position, even with mechs, along the top and the north and the south of this map. Now, that being said, A Mark and... Hold on. Hold, please. 8,000 health to 1,400 health. I've lost my fair share of games from these sort of positions until stuff like that starts happening. Why didn't Master Dark put the ray on the poison tile? The advanced poison tile? So if we... Ooh. Look, that Hydra is having a bad day. That Hydra did not want to show up to work today. That's a bad day. The Ray would die if it was on the poison tile, but that would necessitate that something else lived. So, like, what got hit? This got hit? What got hit with the Hydra? The retreat, 2 phobies to 5. Panic points have flipped in favor of A Markand. Also, shout out to the werewolf avatar. I love this one. It's adorable. Chat saying that Master Dark should have gone hard. I don't know if there's enough damage there. It's 300... It's 650 damage. There's 1,400 health left. You don't have a panic point advantage. You'd just literally be dead. I think the intent was a few turns earlier to try and push. And maybe the push should have been, like, committed to harder. Running away wouldn't be any better, but I guess it doesn't really matter then. You know, it's like, it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Which way would you like to lose? And I think that's ultimately what the position we're at this stage. There's no way to run the gauntlet through those 4 phobies for Temptress and Ray Chargels. Not even quite enough. Temptress is terrible. Well played to both players. Well played to both players. Some very unique plays on this map. Some unique phobies that you know, in this case, it's not saying unique as another form of saying bad. There were some cool ideas here, but ultimately A Markand takes it down. Let's follow them into round 3. Hydra and Repeller is something I need to try. I mean, to be honest, I like Repeller as an anti-Hydra. You can poke, and then eventually you boop it out of range and just, like, you stymie the advance. Really, it's obviously a very strong anti-glob. We're zoning in here between Potenza 2 and A Markand. A Markand, that was a weird way to say their name. The winner of round 2 over Master Dark. We get an interesting opener here from Potenza. It's not Walk the Turret. It is not Walk the Turret. So all of you out there, myself included, that try this on this map, we're getting a different setup from these players. A Markand notably banking to 5. We have seen this defense come up on previous occasions where it wouldn't be surprising to me to see a Hevo pop out and then threaten this whole area. You just plop the Hevo right here, and then all of a sudden you cover an enormous amount of space. But the initial play, real play, we'll say, from Potenzia is Innocuous, and it's answered by, from what chat is telling me, A Markin's signature move in Repeller. I hate Coulrophobia. A lot of people aren't a fan of this map. A lot of people aren't a fan of this map, but we're getting some interesting plays here. We get a Tooth Fairy. A lot of people do like the Murder Wing extension, the Murder Wing advance, the Murder Wing bunker, trying to protect this stim, and then ultimately this panic point. But 2-to-1 panic point advantage for our orange player. How does A Markin respond? We actually get a boop from the Repeller, which allows for a takedown on Numbskull here and flipping the panic point. Get a little Contortio action. All right, all right. Contortio, arguably one of the worst phobies to try and cuddle with. It's probably not going to end well. Imagine trying to spoon with Contortio. You're just going to be unhappy about it at the end. And possibly kind of leaky. You may be leaking from a few places. But in the meantime, Contortio observations aside, we do get some takedowns. Well, a takedown on some 1-keys. Did they just agree to not go for the heart? I'm not used to seeing this on this map. We had some long discussions on this map about ways to stymie the typical heart rush on this map, Urk, that seem pretty promising. Hevo 1.0 is part of that, including the early bank that we saw from A Markin, but we're seeing here on turn 8, the Hevo come out. Taking a pot shot here from the Innocuous, and notably Electrocat. I don't love this positioning from A Markin. This feels painful. Like, okay, you're going to kill this, but now you're pretty much forced into going for Clinico, right? Because if you don't, this Hevo's dead. And it's like, I traded Hevo for Electrocat. Playing it a little defensively, flipping the Contortio onto the center panic point, following up with Bachelor to body block. Banking to 5. A Markin clearly has something in mind. I don't see why he didn't cap with Contortio the turn prior. I'll have to ask him in Discord. Down goes the Bachelor. Good play here from Potenzia, preventing the Innocuous from getting pulled forward. And we go for double 1-key here. At this point, A Markin is under a lot of pressure just from the board advantage. Obviously, only essentially a 1-0 panic point advantage, a 1 panic point advantage. But how are you going to prevent Potenzia from just marching forward here? Boop. Get a little free damage from the lava. Takedown on Tickles here. 3-0 panic point advantage. This is a small map and a very aggressive map. This could get messy kind of quickly if A Markin doesn't recover quickly. This is notable, getting the Stabby here on the lava so that it can position better. However, this means that the Stabby probably has to move up into the lava and take further damage to attack if it's going for the center. If it's not, it's going to end up on the lava up here. Or if it ends up here, it's going to get shelled by Hevo. This is interesting. The Brony closer, chat. Locking A Markin out of this game, or certainly appears like that's going to be the case. I'll be honest, I don't think I ever heard the noise the Tooth Fairy makes, and holy crap, is that creepy. That is so unsettling. Get the pull forward from the challenge play here, but this is not enough damage to kill this Brony. The positioning does make this a little awkward until you get, like, yeah, challenge play movement, That allows the Innocuous. That's going to be a Brony here. Doesn't even have to move up. It can claim the Panic Point. 3-0 Panic Point advantage, and your entire team is deactivated. This is a good heads-up play. You do have the Boop available. Even though no damage goes down, it does allow you to stem the bleeding a bit. Takedown onto the Hevo means that Innocuous is kind of isolated up here in the north. Can't get around the Stabby cleanly. You can move up and pressure a little bit. But Amarkand is not letting this game go easily. Ooh, actually going to go for the Stabby. I like this because the Lava's probably going to finish the job. It is. I guess the Brony here is body blocking to help protect this, but there isn't much that can get it. 0 keys from Amarkand remaining. That is, in fact, an Innocuous on the stem. And there is not a whole lot that can reach it right now. The Boop is not enough. Oh, no. Why? Why? I was trying to pause it to see how much damage, but yeah, that was Amarkand's hopes going up in smoke. Getting cooked, 20 health remaining. You take down the Tooth Fairy, but like, look at this. It's a Panic Point advantage. 1,000 health left on the heart. Surprised no one's complaining about the enormous amount of flashbangs in this game. No, if there were noob tubes, they would complain about it. Not the flashbangs. Not quite enough damage. Potenzia just clinging with every phobie. Amarkand fighting to the last. So close. So close! Wow! 20 HP Innocuous, the 160 health Brony. Like, slightly one attack on either phobie at any other point in the game, and this game goes the other way. A stray attack on either the Innocuous or the Brony at any point, and the game goes the other way. That is wild. Wild. Very well played. So I may have tricked everybody. That's our final placement order. We have Potenzia up at the top, Amarkand in second place. But everybody, that's going to do it for this particular Monster of the Week. If you're interested in playing in some Phobies tournaments, hit up the Random Thoughts Discord. As mentioned before, link for that is in the description, nearby the link for the live stream over here on Twitch. And of course, likes and subscribes do help. Still on that quest to hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. That's going to do it for this time. So as always, everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And tune in next time for more Random Thoughts.